If you are just starting out in your e-commerce store, I want to show you 3 websites that have landed on Shopify's top 50 best Shopify stores to inspire your own in 2023. So since Shopify has already said that these are the top 50 Shopify stores in 2023, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they're doing right. I'll leave a link to this blog post in the description down below. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So let's go, they have them here by categories. So let's jump into home. I love home decorations and stuff. So this one brings my attention. So let's go ahead and go here. So this one is called Artisari. Sorry, don't know how to pronounce that. But so the first thing that we see is this beautiful, really nice, clear image, which is, I think, everyone says it, but there's so many websites where you go and the first image that you find is pixelated, right? So worth mentioning again here that the images must be really great, high quality, clear images for your website, okay? This is a perfect example. And what's really great about it here, so here, the hero image here, you also have new arrivals, elevate your holidays, explore our new range of greeting cards, photos, tags, gift tags, and wax seal. So I've never seen this website before. I've never shopped here before. So landing on this above the fold is a perfect example of what a good website would show you, right? Whether we're on the desktop or we're on the mobile, the first thing that we see when we land on the website is called the above the fold, right? And so why is it so important is that because when we land on here, we want to know exactly what this website is about and what they sell, right? And is it something that I want to continue to look at, right? So this is a perfect example of this telling us what it is with the images and exactly with the copy, what this shop is all about. And then the call to the action is shop the holidays, right? So the holidays are coming, so great. This is specifically just for the holidays. If that's what I'm looking for, then I'll click shop holidays, right? All right, so let's continue. So we are the Wax Seal Boutique. Okay, awesome. And so we come down here and we see again, more beautiful images of their products. And again, one of the things that you can look and copy is the image sizes. You see how they're all the same size, right? So that's really important when you have a grid like this, that all the images are the same size, right? So that is really beautiful. And then it's a carousel. So you know that it's a carousel because you see a part of another image here. So you'll know if I wanted to see more, that I know that there is more to see. So I can come here and click on that. Okay. All right. And then as we continue to come down a little bit more, another beautiful image, make your wax seal kit. Oh, awesome. Okay. So they sell kits as well. Good to know. Right. And then you have your reviews, which is always important to have on your website. And then here looks like they have a blog. So then you also have more information about how you can use their products with their blogs. They do offer free returns. So that's really important for you to state. Someone who's on your website, coming through your website and just looking at it, you have everything that you will need to see on their homepage. And then from here, you'll determine, do I want to continue, or okay, I've had enough, this is not what I'm looking for, and bounce out. So this is why it's part of the top 50, right? I wanted to continue to see the rest of the website. Now, one of the things that I want to also bring to your attention, if you have not already noticed, is how all the images coordinate. What makes it easy for your eye to continue to scroll down the page is because everything is coordinated. It's not matchy-matchy, right? But it's coordinated. So you have whatever the brand color happens to be, you can see a thread through all of the images. So for here, you'll see the cream here. Again, you see some cream and whites, right? So very neutral, soft backgrounds to all of the images, which makes the website look cohesive, right? So it's not about having all these beautiful images and none of them go together, right? Depending on what you're selling, sometimes I've seen websites where, yeah, they have beautiful colors, but this one's purple and this one's red and this one's this other color. And sometimes that can make a page look very cluttered. If I find another example of this, I'll insert it here so that you can see what I'm talking about. But that's what makes this homepage here so nice and easy to follow, because it is really soft on your eyes, because all the images are coordinating and the fonts are really easy to read. Let's head on over to their collection page and see what that looks like. Okay, just as I expected, right? So it's nice, again, nice and clean. And then we do have a collection image here, which is really nice to see. And then the filters, right? So it's really important for if you have a lot of products on your store that you have good filters for us as shoppers to be able to look through your store, okay? So having filters is a great idea to have. Let's go ahead and come down on the page. And again, the images are coordinated, so it's like really nice and easy on the eyes, and you can continue to want to scroll, right? There isn't one that kind of just pops at you. They're all kind of really nice images, and you kind of just, you know, kind of just go through them. One of the nice things that they're doing here that a lot of people don't do in Shopify, you can add more information to your collection page, just like they did here, right? So they're emphasizing they have free shipping, made in Canada, the support, and the quality. So you can also add additional sections to your collection page. So it doesn't have to be just products. So again, just a great example of a collection page, and that's why they're on the top 50. All right, great. Let's review another one. So let's come on and scroll down here and let's take a look. Is this coffee? Bruvi was founded with the goal of providing the convenience and ease of single-serve at-home coffee pods. I'm in. I love coffee. All right, so I am in. Look at this. Look at this hero video. This hero banner has a video. Look how nice it is. Look how clear it is, showcasing the product. There is no doubt of what they sell had I not read that intro on Shopify, right? So they've nailed this above the fold with this video. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's take a look at the navigation. So here they have the navigation is pretty, it's nice and clear. Oh, all right, so beautiful. So they have a mega menu, and you can take a look at the coffee here. So it's learn more, shop, the brewers, goods and gear. So it looks like they have 3 categories. And what are the pods? Coffee, espresso, infused, tea, variety. Perfect. So you can know exactly what you're looking for by clicking on there. What is here? Brewed for goods, business, bee pods, brewing, coffee overview, coffee talk, coffee map. What is this? I want to take a look at that. Right, so what's your favorite? Use our taste map to find your favorite coffee profile or experiment a little. Look how awesome is this. So true origin flavor, taste your flavor. So you can, if you don't know what to pick, you can come here and pick it with this map. What's behind our coffee taste map? We love flavor complexity and nuance across individual coffee. This is awesome. All right, so you know what? I want to go back now to the home page. Let's go back to the home page and let's come down here a little bit more. All right, I love that marquee. So that's really cool because they have been showcased in all of these publications, right? So that's always awesome. Exceptional coffee made easy. Love it. Images again. Love the images here, same size. You see how they're all the same size? Well, that's awesome. And here, one of the things that you also have to be mindful when you're designing your website is that people nowadays don't read. They don't. They like to skim or scroll through a website, right? So a lot of text just is a waste of time because people are just not going to read it unless they're really interested in what you have to say, right? So for example, here, as I'm scrolling down, exceptional coffee made easy, remarkable taste of your coffee, guilt-free toss bee pods, ultimate beverage variety, mobile app. If I want to read more, then I will read what's underneath there, right? But as I'm scanning, you have the titles are bold and big for what you want to pop, what you think people will want to know if they're only skimming and not reading everything word for word. So that's really, really important. Okay. All right, and let's hear like a time. So this is almost like a timeline here as you come down. So that's interactive and that's pretty cool. Love it. And again, you see how they use the different types of fonts in order to grab your attention. Love that. All right, your favorite coffee house drinks now in your house. Beautiful. Look at this image, guys, right? Look how beautiful this clear, beautiful image that is. All right. Let's take a look here. Upgrade your daily ritual. Okay, so they don't talk about, I was interested to see if they talked about the map here in the homepage, but they didn't. But this website, as you can see, again, it's really easy on the eyes. The white background with the blue and this almost peach color is really soothing, right? So just because it's coffee doesn't have to be brown colors. It doesn't have to be, you know, earth tone colors, but I just love the colors. All right. So again, the navigation, pay attention to your navigation and make sure that everything makes sense, right? So if I don't know what kind of coffee I want, I don't know what kind of coffee they sell. So when you come to the navigation, then they lay it out for you, right? So you have the espresso. Yeah, you know what? I do like espresso. So let me see what they have for espressos. Okay. And then again, here you have the collection, shows me, oh, look at that. That is so cool. Again, product images are really, really important. We know that they're not using the standard plastic, white plastic. They're see-through here. And you know what? This makes me want to click on the product image, right? Which is what you want. So we go to the product description here and we see they right off the bat, right? We have the name. We have 37 5-star reviews, which is really awesome. Is on sale. And one of the things that we have here, they offer a subscription and then one-time purchase if you've only wanted to do it for one time, and then your delivery options here, right? Then you have your add to cart and buy with Shop Pay. So what I'm kind of surprised to see that they don't have is an accelerated checkout. So they have the pay with Shop Pay. So that's interesting that they don't have one, but maybe during the checkout, we'll go ahead and check that out and see what they have available. But here again, you have about the bee pods, the roast level. So this is the medium roast. So that's, you know, information that I want to see. And then here they have a great use of icons. Icons is always something I always press my clients to use icons. If you have a good icon that represents what you're trying to say, use that instead of having to write a whole paragraph of text. And this is a great example of that, how they're using the icons in order to relay the message that they want to relay to you. Okay, and then you have your standard. You may also like these, and then your reviews. So I also found that a little bit interesting. It doesn't have information about it's Colombia coffee, but it doesn't have any, well, it does, right, here you go. So it has notes of citrus and chocolate. That's what I was going to say, that it doesn't have in the description any details of the flavors behind it. But take a look at these images here. The images are, I think, a little bit small for my preference, but it doesn't matter. The images are there. They're all the same size and they're clear images. All right, let's see. Can you hover over them? Nope, they don't have a hover. Okay. All right, roast level again. So here is, in case you don't come down to here and you just want to browse through the pictures, it gives you the more information about the coffee. So it's a medium roast. It's Colombian or Honduras origins. It has washed and citrus and chocolate notes of flavor. So that gives you that. So what can you take away from Uppbeat that you can incorporate into your website? So just again, like the previous website, those high quality images and videos makes a huge difference in your conversion. Okay, and one of the things that we can find here is this image, this section here, how when you scroll down, you see images of the product in different ways. Okay, so you see how when you scroll, you see it this way, then you see the difference between their pods and another company's pod, right? Then you can see images of the coffee. So all of these images to get to know the product a little bit better, right? So you're seeing different variations of the products in different perspectives. right? So when you can do that, that is awesome. So for example, if you're having a print on demand, or if you're selling merchandise, so having the picture of the front of a shirt, the back of a shirt or pants or whatever, right? A side view, right? A close-up so that you can see the fabric, right? Because remember, we can't, as customers on your website, we can't see it, we can't touch, not see it, we can't touch it, we can't feel it. So you need to provide images that will do that for the customer online. Okay. All right. So let's move on to another website. All right. Since we were just talking about shirts having the front image and the back image, let's go ahead and jump into a product store that sells merchandise. Let's go to Tentree. So it looks like they're an eco-friendly e-commerce store. And let's jump into a product page. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of their product page and see what they have to offer. Okay, let's take a look at this shirt. This is really cute. So here again, beautiful, clear, high quality images. And so you have images of the model in the front. Okay, another image here. Let's see the back, right? So you can see the back part of the shirt, and then a close-up of the shirt, and then you can't, okay, you can't zoom in. Oh, you can zoom in. However, you have a clear, high quality image up close so you can see the material of the shirt, right? Beautiful. Again, it goes back to what I was just saying, where we're shopping online, so we can't touch it, we can't feel it, right? So include images that will do that for us. Okay. And I don't know if you can tell, the product information stays put while you look through the images. So this is called the sticky content. This is available on the Dawn theme. You don't have to pay high ticket price for a theme to do that. You can have that in the free themes. I don't know if it's on all of them, but at least I know for sure you do have this in the Dawn theme. Let me show you how to do that actually, now that we're just saying it so that you know. So if you go to your dashboard and to your theme, you go to your products, okay, and you hover over your product section here. It's right here. It's the product information right here. Enable sticky content on desktop. Okay, so see how that does that, and you take that off, and then the whole thing moves with it. Okay, right? So Shopify, if you have the Dawn theme, and I think the other free themes have that as well, you can automatically just go ahead and just click that, and you already have this feature. All right. Okay. And then, so some of the details, you know, as you can see, it doesn't have the product description, is not heavy detailed, but if you click on here, then you can see all the information if you want to see it. Because remember, not everyone wants to know every detail about a product. Sometimes I'm very visual, so I can just look at it and decide whether I want it or not, right? I might not want to know all of this other information that's here, but should you want to, it's going to be there, but not cluttering your description. I hope that makes sense, right? Size chart, of course, is necessary, right? So you need to have a size chart in your store if you're selling clothing. All right. So this gives you what you need to know to make the decision of whether this is, you know, what sizes you have. And I really like this detail right here. So you can have it in inches or in centimeters. So you can turn that on, right? And it changes that. So that's really, really awesome. And also has some information about the shipping and returns should you want to do that, right? But if you don't want that information, then it creates a really nice, clean product description page, but without skipping out on the details should you want it. So this is really, really nice. Okay. So, and then as you come down, you'll have more products that they're showing you if you'd like. And then again, check this out here. This is not, you know, it's not clothing. So what is it, right? Sustainability equals transparency. So it's just more information about how they conduct their e-commerce store, how they conduct their business, right? And then of course you have your reviews, which are always needed. And as you can see here, they also have a marquee because they've been featured in all of these companies here, which is awesome. So what is the takeaway for this product page here? So I showed you here is the sticky content. It's really a great idea for you to implement, and I showed you how to do that. Okay, so hopefully the theme that you have also has that option. All right, and then also being able to provide all of the information that a customer might need without cluttering the product page. Okay, so all the information you can possibly need is right here. It's just not cluttered. And another thing that I didn't mention was one of the things that this company has done is making some of the content in bold, right? So again, as I said before, as we're just scrolling, our eye will just pick up on the material, which is super soft, made with recycled material, right? Fabric composition. Fabric is adjustable. Again, very easy on the eyes. The colors are really nice and neutral. The background color is not competing with the text color, okay, which is something I find a lot. You know, sometimes we get carried away and we want to add so much color to our website, and we make it really hard for our customers to read, okay? And accessibility is really, really important. So again, a nice clean website, white background with the fonts are that darker color so that there's a nice contrast between the font color and the background color. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with what I had to say today. Give me a thumbs up if it helped you. And if you haven't launched your Shopify store yet, I have a launch checklist in the description down below. It is completely free of charge for you so that you know that when you launch your store, you haven't forgotten a thing. Until next time, my friends, adios.